Pretty much a year ago today, gyms closed in the UK due to lockdown, which meant I was no longer able to train.
So I needed to adapt as soon as possible, and not just for my physical health and to try and look like an absolute sicko, keyword there being try, but just to keep myself sane, keep my mental health intact, and for my overall well-being.
So I wanted to invest in some equipment and build a home gym that I felt would be extremely effective, but the thing is, I didn't want to spend too much money, which I'll explain exactly why later on.
So before I purchased my own house and created this home gym, whilst I was living with my parents, I did actually have a few little bits of equipment that kind of like started this off. Obviously when lockdown happened, that gave me the motive to create this home gym. Before I discuss all of the more substantial bits of equipment, I'm going to go over all the bits of equipment I had before I even made this gym. So the first bit of equipment we have is the 15 kilo adjustable dumbbells. So although these dumbbells aren't exactly heavy, you know, I wouldn't use them for my pressing exercises and things like that, but for isolations like curls, skull crushers, lateral raises, they're bang on. So in terms of the cost for those dumbbells, I actually don't know because I purchased them years ago, but did a quick search on Google and Argos shows that they sell them for £40. Ignore everything else in this picture other than the barbell, because that's the second bit of equipment I had. So it's a 1-inch barbell which takes a maximum loading capacity of 125 kilos. Obviously the ideal situation is that you'd have a 2-inch Olympic barbell, but I'm going to talk about kind of why I've got this and why I didn't go for other things later in the video. But a 1-inch barbell that can take 125 kilos of load, that is ideal for the majority of people. Like, the only things that hinders for me is my hip hinging and my squats, just because I can't put enough weight on the barbell. But there are a lot of workarounds I've used in order for me to keep progressing with my training. So the barbell came with these spin-on locking nuts. It's not a bolt, it's a nut in it. The bolt's a bolt. This is a nut. The barbell also came with 2 10 kilo plates. So there's one, and there's the other one, made out of steel, so quite thin, which is good because obviously it allows us to have more room on the barbell to add more plates. So the cost for the barbell, the nuts, and the 2 10 kilo plates was £70. Another thing that I already had was a foam roller to do foam rolling. I can't remember the cost, but I've done a quick Google search and you can pick them up for literally like £5. So that's like the majority of the stuff I already had. There's a couple of other bits that I did already have, but I'll include that when I'm talking about the other stuff that I've bought in lockdown. So one of the first purchases I made for this home gym is something I'm currently sitting on. So the gym floor matting cost me a total of £35. I can't remember how many square meters, but it covers the area that I need it to cover. So I wouldn't say that gym floor matting is like absolutely essential for home gyms, but I feel like just to protect your flooring and protect your weights, it's definitely worth doing. The next bit of equipment I purchased was this Mirror Fit squat rack. It's a pretty good squat rack considering the price. So it cost me £120. It can take a max loading capacity of 250 kilos. One thing I really like, let me just show you this. Let me move the camera a bit closer. We've got these safety bars here, which is at like the perfect height. So when I'm doing like hip hinges, barbell rows, placing the barbell there rather than the actual like stand bit, it just makes things a lot better. Also, like, you notice in a lot of gyms where you're doing like squats, bench press and things like that, I've often had the problem where like the stand is kind of like at the wrong height. It's either too high or too low. Whereas this rack, what it has is a lot of like adjustable points, like every like couple of inches. So what that allows me to do is just get the barbell at the correct height, so I'm not like, you know, readjusting my form after I've unwrapped the barbell on a bench press, for example. It just makes a big difference. Right, the next thing, obviously a gym is certainly far from complete without a bench. I mean, if your gym hasn't got a bench, then you can't bench press, and then in that case, what is the point of even training? I'm only joking, you don't have to do bench press to make gains, but it's just an exercise I think is really fun. I feel like you need a bench in your home gym. It's not just for your pressing, there's loads of other things you can do with a bench. So this is an adjustable bench, I'll just demonstrate. So you've got a pin there, you can actually have a decline as well, but have it incline. There's about 4 or 5 different settings, so I can adjust the steepness of the bench. So you've got a really high incline there, I'm going to go one more, and that'll be a shoulder press. You can adjust the actual seat angle as well to accommodate when you're doing your incline presses. Personally, I do think an adjustable bench should be a top priority for home gym owners, just because of the versatility it brings. So you've got to think about your flat pressing, your decline pressing, which I would never do personally, but incline pressing, preacher curls, like incline curls, rear delt flies. There's a lot of shoulder presses. There's literally so much you can do with an adjustable bench. So it's about time I've shown you all the dumbbells I have. So there is the dumbbell rack right there. No, I'm joking. It's not a dumbbell rack for anyone that couldn't work that out, and I'm pretty sure everyone could work that out. So they're the 15 kilo adjustables, which I've already shown you, so I'm not going to show you them again, although I kind of already have, never mind. We have some 4.5 kilo dumbbells right there, which were actually my mum's, obviously because she's absolutely wham, so she was just like breaking world records with them. I actually use them for things like rear delt flies, lateral raise drop sets, even some curls after I've, like I say, with drop sets, giant sets, that kind of thing. They can be very useful when you're trying to like chase that metabolic stress component of hypertrophy. So that's 2 of the 3 pairs of dumbbells I've got. So they're more of the light dumbbells for my isolation stuff. And I also managed to get an absolute bargain for a pair of 40 kilo dumbbells, which actually only cost me £40. So yeah, there they are there, a pair of 40 kilo dumbbells, which I think brings a lot of versatility because I can do like say sets of 12 to 15 with my flat pressing, and then a little bit less with my incline pressing. I can also do RDLs. There's a lot that I can do with that set weight. If you have been on this channel before and watched some of my previous videos, you will have seen me like tape 2.5 and 5 kilo plates to my dumbbells. So when I want to go heavier and do like top sets and stuff, I'll do that. Obviously not to be advised, but you know, it's a workaround in times like this. Another thing I purchased was an easy bar. So the easy bar weighs 4.5 kilos. It can take a max capacity of loading of 70 kilos. And the plates it came with was 2 3 kilo plates and 2 2.5 kilo plates, and that came to a grand total of £30. I personally don't think an easy bar is that essential for home gyms, but just because of when I'm doing curls and skull crushers, I feel like it just takes a lot of unnecessary strain off my wrist when I'm doing it with a flat bar. So again, not something that I think is necessary or essential, but you know, it's just a nice little add-on for your home gym. This next purchase was an absolute bargain and one of my favourite purchases of this home gym. So it's the Pully system, which cost me £18, and that came with this rope attachment, which I think is an absolute bargain. Now for something where you can go on eBay and pick that up for £18, I think personally that is essential for home gym owners. Not necessarily because of the exercises you can do with it and their exercises you must do to progress your physique, more for just like the value for money and all the avenues it opens for your training. I literally did a whole video on this bit of equipment, so if you've not watched it and you're not sure what exercises you can do with it, check that video out. Like, to me, yeah, I just think it's so versatile and it's something that I think home gym owners should prioritize. So in terms of other attachments I've got for the Pully, I've got 2 D handles there. I love doing like unilateral pull downs with that. I've got a little push down bar there that I use for triceps, which didn't actually cost me anything. The D handles cost me £10. That didn't cost me anything. That came from an old machine, an old weight machine I had whilst I was living with my parents, so that didn't cost anything. And also this lat pull down bar, which is probably the bar I use least on this Pully thing. I use that for more lat pullovers and things, but again, that didn't cost me anything just because it was on that old weight machine I had. Oh yeah, we've also got a step here as well, which cost me nothing because it's something I already had, and yeah, that's something that you can use if you're somebody that actually trains calves. And to be fair, when gyms are open, I do train calves just because I feel like on machines I actually get a lot more out of my calves rather than putting a barbell on my back and literally just being scared of falling over when I've got all that weight on my back trying to do calf raises. I've also got a pull-up bar, which I got given for free, which is so ideal. Basically, the person that bought it and then realised they couldn't do pull-ups and then just gave it to me. So yeah, not complaining about that one. So we also need to establish the total amount of weight I have in plate. So it's all kind of dotted around everywhere at the minute, like on the barbell, on the Pully system, on the easy bar. So the total amount is actually 113.5 kilos, and that's excluding the plates on that. So that's another 30. So we have 143 kilos if you include the dumbbells. So the total cost for all of the plates, there's 113 kilos there. Take away 20 kilos because that's something I already had, so that's 93. Take away 11 kilos away from the easy bar because I've already purchased that. So the other 82 kilos of weight cost me a grand total of £30. All it was is that I just knew somebody that worked at Audi that was able to get staff discount on these weights, so she was able to get them for a cheap price and also before they sold out. So I've also got 3 separate bands here as well. So I've got a Gymshark one there, a couple of others, and I've got some spare straps I keep there as well. Whoops, just dropped a band. But yeah, I just basically use these for just warming up. Also, I managed to round up a few bits of cardio equipment from the fam. So what I'm going to do is just play this very short montage of clips of me pretending to do cardio. So that's my home gym. So how much did it totally cost? Let's have a drum roll. It's cost me a grand total of £508. Now, I'm not saying this is how much it's worth and this is how much you can get all this equipment for, but I'm just being transparent to you of how much all of this actually cost me. So why is it that I didn't want to invest too much into my home gym? First of all, to get something that is optimal for me would literally cost me an arm and a leg. Like for my own personal goals, a basic kind of powerlifting orientated setup with a rack, barbell, plates, Olympic barbell, all that kind of stuff, that's still gonna cost me the best part of like 2 grand. The thing is, even if I had that kind of setup, I still wouldn't be able to progress my lower body as well as in comparison to a gym. Like for me personally, I don't get as much out of a barbell back squat as in comparison to say like a pendulum, a leg press or a hack squat. So obviously as well, the main thing I had to think about is just basic financial principles, being that, you know, you've got to kind of think about how much something's going to cost you and how much use you're going to get out of it. And if the balance isn't at least fair or in favour that you're going to get a lot of use out of how much you're paying for it, you know, if that isn't in the right kind of place, then it's probably not worth buying. So I had to think about kind of after lockdown is finished and all the gyms are open, am I honestly going to use a home gym? Bearing in mind that I'm a personal trainer and I work in a gym, meaning that I have access to a gym literally whenever I want. So am I really going to get enough use out of this home gym when gyms reopen? Probably not. And another thing is that I still have a membership at the gym I usually train at, and I think I'm always going to train there just because of the equipment it has, and the atmosphere there is just something you don't get in a home gym. So that's the kind of reason I'm not kind of like splashed out loads of money all at once, because I know this is temporary, the gyms are going to open soon, and I don't see myself training in a home gym long term. But don't get me wrong, I think this home gym setup is actually sick. Like, it might not be the best in comparison to some top YouTubers, like the home gyms they have are literally like insane, but for me, I'm just grateful for what I've got. I can literally do anything I want in this gym other than hip hinges and squats, like, but I can do them but not like optimally. To me, that's not a massive issue. I think what I've got here has catered me so well to get through this lockdown. Like personally, I'm not someone that always wants the best of things like materialistically. I have a different mindset when it comes to performance in the gym and things like that. I always want to be the best I possibly can be, but in terms of, you know, objects, things, material things, I'm not bothered. I really don't care about having the best of everything. Like, I can't emphasize enough that, you know, I think this is a sick home gym, and yeah, it's been good. But yeah, as much as I like this home gym, I can't wait to get back in the gyms on April 12th. Just a couple of weeks away. I'm super excited. But yeah, that's my home gym. I'm gonna wrap the video up here. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, remember to drop the video a like. And the best thing to do to support me on this channel is whack that subscribe button, and so that you don't miss any future content. But yeah, that's my home gym. Nothing to add, so see you later.